Hey everybody, it's Jerry from Bullshit Corner today on the BMW E46 sedan. There's a couple projects we're going to do today. One of them is replace the water pump. The water pump in this car, it isn't leaking, but the impeller that the water pump uses directly from BMW, the impeller is plastic, and they have a high rate of the plastic impeller failing, so we're going to change it out with this one here. The impeller on this one here is metal, so we don't have to worry about it breaking off. And while we're at it, the thermostat we're going to change, but the thermostat housing and all that is made of plastic, so we're going to change it out with this metal one that I got. Thermostat, sensor, everything all ready to go. So one of the first things we're going to do before we get started is we're going to remove the front panel here, like the air duct, and we're going to remove the cover for the fan. That'll give us access to the thermostat housing and the water pump below, and that'll be a real good starting point for us. And then I'm going to go step by step and show you how to go about changing this. So here's a closer up view. We're going to remove this tab here, this tab here, this tab right here, and this is going to pull this cover off. And then we got to remove this as well, the fan shroud, and that I believe is held in by a Torx bit, but I can't work and film at the same time, so I'm going to put the camera down and get to work. There's not a lot of room in here to get your hand in there to get that fan out, because this is here, and it's obviously pretty clear. You can't get this out, fan out to the fan, so I use a fan clutch holder, and you just reach down, tag on to the two bolts in the fan clutch. I used an 1 1/8" wrench. It's actually 32 mil, and obviously it's not going to work. So I had to grind out the edges until it was about 32 and a little bit mil. Then I was able to get my wrench in there, super tight as you can see in the video. And then you can loosen up like that. And then this whole section will just pull out like that. Now we got full access to the front now. So now that the fan clutch and fan shrouds are out of the way, it's probably best to loosen the bolts for the pulley before you remove the belt, otherwise it keeps tension on there and it'll be easier to work on. So I'm going to just loosen the bolts first and or take the tension off and slide the belt off, and that way I can just do that and then pull the pulley right off. So to loosen the bolts on the fan pulley, it's 10 millimeter, and to loosen the belt or to release the tension, use a 16 mil socket. So I'm going to use, and you can see it's like that, but I can't film and do it at the same time, so I'm going to pop the belt off by hand and then continue on with the project. So I got the pulley off the water pump now, and I didn't realize it was plastic, and I put a fucking chip out of it. So the BMW dealership parts department is closed, so kind of hoops. I just kind of filed the edges, and I'm hoping it'll make it through without shredding the belt once I get it back together. But anyways, you can see the water pump down there. There's 4 nuts. You want to remove those, and then there's 2 jacking bolts on each side, and that's what you're going to do to get the water pump out. Now, don't be a fool. If your car's warm, my car's warm, you need to pump out some of the coolant before you get going. You want to depressurize the system beforehand too, because last thing you want to do is get severe burns from the coolant. So I'm going to just pump a little bit out of coolant out. What I'm going to do, there's a reservoir tank here. I've already cracked it and released the pressure. I got like a hand siphon pump, and it goes down fairly deep. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pump all the coolant out of that in a jug, sitting on the floor over there, and that should be good enough for me. There's probably going to be obviously a little bit of spillage, but be careful and don't make a mess. So my method of trying to go through the expansion tank didn't work, so we're going to go underneath and loosen the blue drain plug on the rad. Try to be careful because this coolant is still hot. So once you loosen the drain plug, you may notice that no antifreeze comes out at first. You actually got to go up top where the bleed screw is. Open it up. Allows air into the system to allow the radiator to drain. So now we're ready to remove the thermostat housing. To change the thermostat, if you want to go that route, if you're watching this video, I'm actually changing out the whole piece. To remove the rad hose, it's simple, just pry this little clip out fully. One down below, pry that one out fully too. Disconnect the electrical connection right here, and there's 4 bolts that are going to hold that thermostat housing in, and I'm going to remove that and then pull that out of the way, and then we're going to continue on with the water pump. So here we are is the old thermostat housing. It's removed from the block, and there's a view of it there. There was 3 10mm screws and 1 13mm I used to pull that out. Now we're going to do the water pump now. We'll just remove these 4 nuts, and then we're going to use 2 screws in there to jack that out, and we're going to pull the water pump out right away. Okay guys, I just want to show you this before I get too far. Use 2 bolts from your thermostat housing, go in here and you jack it out. I don't know if you can really see, but you want to try to keep it even. So you just want to jack a little bit on this side like I have here, so a little bit of gap. And then I'm going to go on this side and jack it so it's even, go a little bit more. You don't want to get it too cockeyed because then you're going to get stuck and then you might end up fucking something up. So jack it out evenly, it'll just pop out, and then we're ready to install the new one and start reinstalling everything else. So before I install the water pump in the E46 BMW, I just want to show you the impeller in the new ones is metal, and the old one it's plastic. And I noticed that when I turned it out, the bearing is actually really worn. It's starting to drag in spots, so the water pump's on its way out. And in Canada here with winter coming, this is not a project I want to be doing outside when it's like -20, -30, so good thing the weather's still nice. So I'm going to install the new water pump now, and then we're going to install the new thermostat housing. We're going to show you the difference between those before we put those in, and then put everything back together. Just wanted to show you a short little clip of the new water pump installed. I just wanted to show you the difference in the thermostat houses. This is the original BMW factory one. It's plastic, ABS plastic, whatever you want to call it. And there's a new one I'm installing. It's metal. I won't have to worry about it breaking. It comes with a new thermostat installed and a sensor. So we're all good. I'm going to stick that in, show you how that's done, and we're almost finished. This is what we're looking at right now. Water pumps in, pulleys on, belts put back on, thermostat housings put in, installed tight, all electrical connections are put back on. Everything's all ready. We're going to drop the fan in now, put the shroud back in with it because it has to go in as one. Start putting some coolant in the rad, and then we're going to bleed the system, and hopefully we're going to get all the air out. And after we start, we're going to see if that chip in the pulley here is going to end up ripping this belt. If so, then I'm going to have to take it all apart and get a new pulley from BMW on Monday when I go pick up a transmission gasket and filter, because that's going to be the next project I'm going to do and film for you guys as well. So at this point of the game, everything's back together. Fan clutch is put back on. The hardest part about this job is there's not a lot of room with the shroud here and the fan. Yeah, I found it was a real pain in the ass to try to get my hands in there, try to get it on. Took a little bit of fighting, a little bit of cursing. I was getting mad, I was ready to start smashing shit, but now we're going to do the process. Before you want to start the car, you want to put some coolant in it. I drained out probably, I don't know, 3 liters or so. So right now I'm just going to fill it up slowly. I'm just going to open up the bleed valve, and by doing that, it's letting the air out, and the antifreeze is going straight down. I threw some 50-50 mix in this shit here. It's 100% pure antifreeze. I don't like to rely 100% on the 50-50. Being in the cold Canadian winters where it gets to -40, I like to make sure that coolant is strong. So before you start your car, Crank up the heat, keep your fan on low. Put it on defrost, that works. And start it up. Now that the car is running, suck the coolant right down. So everybody, this finishes the project of the water pump thermostat housing install on your BMW E46 series. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel. Next few weeks I'm going to be doing the transmission oil change and transfer case oil change in this car as well. Another thing I have to change out is the lower control arms and bushings. Next year I'm probably going to do like a tune-up of spark plugs, simple things. If you have any questions or think of something that you need help with, comment below, message me, whatever. Otherwise, subscribe and stay tuned for some more videos.